Hello everybody and welcome to my beauty salon, the place that I get ready for my trip to the Ritz so that I can look more fabulous, and the place where I can give you all my hints and tips and my trade secrets, if you like, for how to look more fabulous. Today I want to pick up on something that was posted onto the Facebook Super Troopers page asking about the order that you put various products onto your face. Obviously, if you're going to do thorough skincare followed by a good, nice makeup, then you are going to be putting several things onto your skin. And the question was, how do I know what order to do it in? And, isn't it an awful lot to load on top of your skin? Well, it can be, so you have to do it right. So what do I do first thing in the morning? I get up and then I wash my face with warm water and a fresh face cloth, flannel, and I do that because it kind of I feel it wakes my skin up. I don't use soap, which is very harsh if you're not careful on the skin, and I have never found that is a good idea for me, so I just use water. Having done that, I start the process of moisturising. And it's a two-step process now. It used to be just some, simple moisturiser, but now my skin is older, much more dehydrated. I think it needs a lot more care than that. So I give it via the Look Fabulous Forever Hydration Hold serum, which is very rich in hyaluronic acid. And that was a key requirement from me when I started to research the possibility of having a skincare range for Look Fabulous Forever. Hyaluronic acid came up time and time again as the key ingredient for ensuring that your skin stays moisturized for longer. The thing about hyaluronic acid is it's a naturally occurring substance in the body, and it's a humectant, so it draws and holds its own weight in water times 1,000. So it's a fantastic way to make sure that any moisturizer that you put on top lasts and stays working and helping your skin to look all plumped up and beautiful for the longest possible time. The way that I apply this, it's got this little pipette dropper on it, so press that down and about 3 drops. I pop it onto the back of my hand and then I just smooth that over. It absorbs quite quickly, and you don't have to leave time before you then apply the moisturiser. Now, our Moisturizer Smooth a Day face cream, this is unfortunately not in stock at the moment because the lovely people who make it for us have had to switch all their production lines to hand sanitizer right now. So we're getting it back in stock, we hope, within the next 3 to 4 weeks. It's been on order for a long time, and we're very upset that we haven't got it. But I put this on top of the serum, and I don't put a huge amount on. I just make sure that there's a good covering, and I also do my neck with it. Having done that, I then, and I think this is really important, I leave a reasonable amount of time, somewhere in the region of 10 minutes or so from the time that I've finished applying my moisturiser to the time that I then start to do my face, put my makeup on. And the reason I leave that time is because I really do feel that my skin has to be allowed to absorb those products thoroughly. So having cleaned my teeth, done my hair, got ready, and generally done other things for 10 minutes or so, I then sit down and get ready to put my makeup on. Now, I think the big confusion came on Facebook between what the difference is between a primer and a moisturiser. Now, they are very different. Moisturisers are there for your skin to nourish and make sure that it's beautifully hydrated. And primer, the job of a primer is to smooth your skin and make the surface of your skin such that it will hold the foundation that you put on top for longer and make sure that it looks better. So those two very much go together. This first, primer first, on top of moisturiser, followed by your base. Okay. You don't have to leave a lot of time after the primer. Before you put your base on, you'll find that it will glide on. We call it Smooth Like Silk Face Prime because it's such a brilliant product for smoothing your skin before you put your base on. So that's the first thing you do. And it's certainly the first thing that I do when I sit down at my mirror to put my makeup on. Next, I do the continuation of how to make my skin and my face look better by getting rid of any blemishes, spots, blue bits, and anything else that I want to get rid of by using concealer. So I'm talking about here and here, and today it's been across my cheeks because I've got a few spots, and I've got age spots there and there. And I just use this to support my base and to add an extra amount of unifying to my skin tone by using concealer. So that's the next thing that I do. Having done that, I now look to my face to see if I can add some shape and colour. So shape is added with this, which is Instant Bright Highlighter. And what I do with this, it's got an integrated brush, is that I just apply some of this here and up here onto my brow bones. I sometimes put a stripe down the middle of my mouth, and I just pat that in. And somebody asked why my skin looks quite luminous. Well, I think that's because I use this, and it sort of catches the light. I come in close, you can perhaps see that. You can see where it is, and it's a beautiful product. It's very quick to apply, but I think it makes a huge difference. Having done that, I'm then next thing that I'm ready for is my blusher. You can see on the back now we've got coloured labels. So my blusher, and I'm going to put that here and here. And having done that, I then finish the whole thing with some pressed translucent powder. We call this Perfect Finish. And what I do with this, I use a little brush and just dot it onto the areas where I've put concealer so that it sets the concealer, and then big swirly brush and just finish so that it makes my skin look lovely and smooth. So that's the order that I do my face makeup. Okay, then I come to my eyes. I start with my brows. I then put on the eye primer, on top of which I then do my shadows. Today I've put Bluebell. I thought I'd match the top that I've got on and my lovely bright pebble tulali earrings. So I've got Bluebell, and I've lifted it above my socket line. I put it across my lids. Quite a simple makeup. It's very quick to do. And so I will do that next on top of my eye primer. So eye primer first, always eye primer first, and then everything that you're going to put on top comes next. And today I've done shadows, and then I've done the lash line with some Midnight Blue, and I followed that with mascara. So brows, eye primer, shadows, and mascara, and that's my eye makeup done. When I've done that, I turn to my lips. So it's the last thing that I do. And again, back to the primers. The perfect primer for your lips is to stop the feathering and bleeding of your lipstick out into those lines around your mouth. That's the most frustration that I used to have before I started Look Fabulous Forever, was that I couldn't really wear bright red lipstick because it would look awful once I'd applied it, because it would fuzz around the outside of my mouth. And if you got in close, you could actually see rivulets of it going up into the lines. So as I said, key requirement for me from the cosmetic manufacturer was to have the primers, face, eye and lip primers, and this lip primer has been a godsend because it stops that feathering and bleeding of those of the colour, and it means that I can now wear reds and look good in them because I've got a nice sharp crisp edge to my lipstick. I then, having done that, apply my lipstick, and I'm good to go. So I'm sure you're sitting there, a lot of you, thinking, what a palaver. What a faff. Does she really do all of that? Well, actually, yes, I do. And I'm not going to apologise for it. I think that it means that my makeup looks terrific. It works on my face really well. My skin is beautifully nourished and moisturised all day long. And having done it just as I've described, I'm good to go for the rest of the day. And I really don't touch my makeup again, apart from refreshing my lipstick when I need to, if I've eaten or drunk something and my lipstick has more or less disappeared. Now, at the end of the day, I then have to take it all off, but this is a lovely cleansing ritual that I go through. I start with our Clean Sweep eye makeup remover, which very quickly, with a couple of cotton pads, removes every trace of my eye makeup. Even, if I put a couple of coats of mascara on, it's really good at lifting all that. You'll see that you need to shake it up. It's partly oil, partly water, which means it's very conditioning, and it's very gentle on your eyelids, and it's also really good for your eyelashes. So that's Clean Sweep eye makeup remover, and this is our Perfectly Clean cleanser. I put a couple of squirts of that on the back of my hand and then rub it over my face, and it just dissolves my makeup and all the grease on it. It's a brilliant product. Again, another nice, fresh, clean washcloth. I have a lot of them, which I wash after one use, and then I just wash off the creamy cleanser, and the whole procedure takes me about, 3 or 4 minutes, I suppose, but my skin feels wonderfully clean and fresh. And then, depending on how my skin is feeling, sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. If my skin does feel a little bit dry, I will put on our Deeply Dreamy Night Cream, which again is very rich in hyaluronic acid, as well as lots of other lovely goodies, so that can work its magic overnight and means that my skin is beautifully moisturised while I'm sleeping. So that's my routine. That's the procedures that I go through. I hope that was helpful to you as a straightforward, process to go through. And I hope you agree with me that the end result is worth the effort. So I'm going to go and get myself get my shoes on and grab my bag and head off out, because I've got a date with all of you fabulous women looking your most spectacular best in that wonderful tea room at the Ritz. So I'm going to come and join you. Bye-bye, and I shall look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye-bye.